Enjoy this recording taken from an unscripted live audio conversation on Mentza. That's Mentza.
Hello,
welcome to Margazhi on Mentza, and thank you so much. We'll just wait for the little official time to start, and in the meantime, let me just say how grateful I am to you for giving me this time, this opportunity, and it's an absolutely surreal moment. So thank you so very much. My 2024 couldn't have started on a better note. I think if I'd wished for anything, I would have got it. And the angel who would have brought it to me would have been Srikuti, who's here in the audience with us. Thank you so much, Srikuti. It's a lot. And yes, we just wait for a few seconds for the official time to start so that we can get, this is just more of a mic test to make sure that everything is in order. And how is the day, sir? How has it been today?
Well, I've been unwinding after around 20 hectic days in Chennai. So all I can think of is sleeping.
That is so true. I think for most of us, that is actually true, that what we would like to do is catch up on a lot of sleep. And for you particularly, I'm very sure that you're going to get it. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Welcome to Margazhi Magic with Prince Rama Varma. And I, like everybody says, I don't know whether to call you His Excellency or Highness or just say Sir Varmaji. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, sir. So I wanted to actually give a little brief about you, but I have mentioned that in the description about your journey and about the barriers that you have broken amongst various, whether it was tradition, whether it was music, gender equality, everything. I think there are so many barriers that you have broken. But today, because it's Margazhi, and I want to take a little sneak peek into the small boy that you were, maybe 6, 7 or 10 years old. What is this small Kutti Unni doing? Please tell me that. Where is he during these December months, the Margazhi month? Was it anything specific out there? Please share a little bit about that with me.
Yes. My great-grandmother, my mother's mother, we called her Amma Maharani. She was the one who was passionate about classical music and a few other good things also in life. So she had this tradition of going to Chennai, which was called Madras at that time, every December. So for us, it had nothing to do with music, but we would all go in 3 or 4, in a convoy of 3 or 4 cars. We had a family property there, which we don't have now. So in 2 cars, the cooks and the cleaning people and the staff, they would go, and all of us would go in a car. And of course, there's no air conditioning at that time. So we would take ice boxes with Limca and Fanta and Coca-Cola and stuff like that, and stop, pack curd rice and sambar rice and drive from Thiruvananthapuram. We'd make one stop in Thirunal, and then stay the night in Madurai and have darshan of Madurai Meenakshi every year. Then halt on the way and have food on the road packed from Madurai, and there would be tamarind trees full of monkeys. So we would share the food with monkeys also. Then we would have lunch at Trichy, and it is this extended 2-day road trip every single year. And then we would go to Madras. And so, but the thing is that for us, my cousins and me, it was a time for us to meet each other and play Monopoly and go for films and shopping and eating out and whatever. But there is a steady stream of musicians, great musicians who used to visit our house. So we would find M.S. Subbulakshmi or Semmangudi or K.V.Narayanaswamy or K.S.Narayanaswamy or Maharaja Santanam or M.D. Ramanathan or Romeo Pruseram or T.N. Krishnan. So many musicians, they will be kind of in and out of the house. They would be coming to meet Amma Maharani. So the presence of all these people was like part of my life from the time I could remember. And then after Amma Maharani passed away in 1983, the family continued the tradition of traveling to Madras for Christmas holidays. For us, it was Christmas holidays from school. we didn't even know them. At least my generation, we didn't even know the word Margazhi at that time, and I had no idea that one day I would start to learn music or sing or perform in Margazhi or be interviewed on Mentza by this amazing lady who's talking to me now. So, but all that is much, much later. I'm talking about 1976, 75, that time.
So was there a transition period where you realized that this music session was happening, or these people are coming, or you were reading about them elsewhere, or something was, in your mind where you could hear the humming, the maestros out there just, at your distance, and it's there, you're in that environment. Did that ever happen, or was it?
The tragedy was that, it was my great grandmother who selected my guru for me when she spotted or imagined some kind of musical inclination in me when I was 12, 13 years old. And my guru was Professor Vechoor Hariharasubramania Iyer, who is a disciple of Shammukhananda Srinivasa Iyer. But very, very soon after I started music lessons, my great grandmother passed away, and the story was completely different with the next head of the family, who was my great grandmother's daughter, my mother's mother, my grandmother, who was not into music at all. So we continued to go to Chennai, but the gap was very small, because by the time I had started becoming interested in music, and mostly my father and I would go like morning one lecture, followed by a veterans concert, followed by a sub-junior concert, followed by a junior concert, followed by one or even two senior concerts, the entire December around 1920 till January 1st. And so many Sangita Kalanidhi award functions, the Sadas, what they call it, the Music Academy. So from around 1984, I have not missed. So then I became very, very, very active in the Marghazhi listening circle of people who hop from Saba to Saba, canteen to canteen.
Canteen, I was just going to ask you that. When did the canteen culture come in?
It was always there, I think. As far as I remember, it was there. And at that time, there was no possibility to find out the schedule there is no internet at all. So every morning we would wait for the Hindu newspaper to come, and Hindu paper used to list all these concerts. So sometimes it is so difficult. Oh, here T.V. Shankaran is singing with Mysore Nagaraj and Sri Mushna Rajarao, and D.K. Jaraman is singing with V.V. Subramania and Palghat Raghu, and Govindarao is singing with somebody else, and it is very, very, very difficult. At the same time, amazing concerts would happen, and we wouldn't know which one to go for. So that is amazing. Now the number of concerts are much more now. I mean, exponentially more. At that time, it would be Music Academy, Narada Gana Sabha, Mailapur Fine Arts, Krishna Gana Sabha, Indian Fine Arts, Rasika Ranjani. These few sabhas were Tamil Chai Sangam. But now it's a different story. I mean, every junction there is a sabha.
Wonderful. Sir, I know, and we are grateful to technology because it gives us more that much. For example, the fact that you're here today and I'm able to communicate with you being in two different countries itself, I'm grateful to technology for that. But going back a little bit into the traditional form of learning, and with as you mentioned, your Professor Vechoor Hariharasubramania Iyer, and then you later on trained with K.S.Narayanaswamy sir, and then with Dr. Balamuralikrishna. Was there some kind of, with each of your gurus, and I'm not even yet talking about the Veena part of it, with each of your gurus, did you have any specific aspirations or nuances that you wanted to pick up from them, maybe from their music, lifestyle, behavior, anything which you incorporated and people see that as a legacy that you're carrying on on their behalf?
It just happened organically that when I joined Vechoor sir, he had to teach me when I had a child voice, and from sa re ga ma onwards. So naturally that is the most important. If you learn that sa re ga ma kind of thing wrongly or correctly, it makes a very big difference. So though he was Semmangudi Srinivasa Iyer's disciple, many of these gharanas or banis are defined by mannerisms. So suppose we have a Balamurali Shishya who sings exactly like Balamurali, then they won't be able to take anything from any other style. Same with any, whether it's GNB or Semmangudi or Mushiri or that style, full of mannerisms, if we learn, then we will stick to that. We can't take anything else. While Vechoor Hariharasubramania said his style was remarkably free of mannerisms and very, very solid and authentic. So because of that kind of training he gave me, and my listening was very, very, very high. And I used to love and be addicted to M.D. Ramanathan and Madurai Iyer specifically. So some element, I'll give you one small example. It's not necessarily a nice example, but when Vechoor sir taught me Kavava, for example. So Kavava has Devadi Devan Maganeva. For example, let me see if my sruthi. So, Devadi Devan Maganeva. This is Devadi Devan Maganeva. Correctly he used to sing. But this Madurai used to sing Devadi Devan Maganeva. He used to say Devadi Devan. So it used to be cut like that. But it had one pulse, or I don't know how to, it's very lilting feeling. So I used to just take little things which attracted me from other schools also, which used to bemuse him and bewilder him and irritate him also sometimes. Sometimes he used to be delighted also that suddenly I would sing something and which he had not taught me. Where did you get this from? No, like that. So, and many of the people I used to be addicted to, like Madurai, they were people who had passed away before I was born. So he was like, how did you get to know this? Because at that time, recordings were not available the way they are now. So that was with Vechoor sir. Everything what happened later, I owe it to Vechoor sir. In fact, when I joined Balamuralikrishna and I was with him for 18 years, till the end, if I say my guru, he knew I was talking about Vechoor sir only. So some people, they learn a lot from an authentic but not well-known guru, then latch on to some famous name and use that name as a brand name, which happens a lot. So Balamurali sir was in the same situation himself because his guru was not well known in Chennai, Parupalli Ramakrishna Pantulu. So as a boy, when he became a superstar, there are so many famous Chennai musicians who told him, you come to Chennai and join my bandwagon and then I'll make you famous. So Balamurali sir said, no, I'm happy with Ramakrishna Pantulu. So it was exactly the same with me also with Vechoor sir. And my classes with him finished only because he passed away. So if Vechoor sir was alive, even now I'll be learning from him. So
that I saw that, and in your profile also, as you had mentioned, and whatever is available for me to do very little research, which is available, and there is so much more which you probably have shared on other platforms, or some which you haven't, and which we are hearing for the first time. But it's such a pleasure, sir, and I can't thank you enough. And we have so many people in the audience here also who are really cherishing this moment. And Abde, please feel free to go ahead and share in the text box your comments and your encouragement for me, because sir has enough for himself. So, sir, when you said, I saw that you've now, it came on to a time when you moved on to a instrument also. Could you share a little bit about why was the decision to get on to learn an instrument, and how did that enhance your vocal, or how did that help you with your inner mind itself?
No, yeah, that is, I feel it is compulsory. It's like, in Hindustani music, if you are a singer, you need to know singing plus a melodic instrument and even tabla for the rhythm. So in Carnatic music, if you look at almost any of the great musicians from the past or present, whether they perform in public, both things are not. Most of the singers would know an instrument, because knowing an instrument gives us the proper grip over, because we have gamakams or oscillations. So it is wrong to think that in Carnatic music we have gamakams, so we just kind of shake or oscillate everything. So there are very, very, very clear rules in which ragam, which note, in which context has to be oscillated, to what extent. So if I take Shankarabharanam, for example, re ga ma is one ma, re ga ma is another ma. Re ga ma is a third ma. Pa da ma, that's a fourth ma. Pa da ni ma. Ma, it's also ma. Ma is also ma. So how to differentiate between Shankarabharanam has Shuddha Madhyamam, Kalyani has Pratimadhyamam. On paper, Shankarabharanam has only one ma, which is the natural ma. But how many varieties are there? If we know violin or veena or an instrument, then it becomes, even without that, we can learn that. But it'll be very, very easy. It'll just get in your hand. In fact, on 6th and 7th, I have an online teaching session by an online portal called Vox Guru. So they assign ragams to us. So they have given me Shahana and Shanmukha Priya. So I was just listening to many Shahanas online just to get some ideas. And some very famous people, they sing the Madhyamam and Shahana not correctly. So, but these are big musicians, so I can't name them. But the funny thing I found is that their violinist, when they sing and the violinist repeats something, they will be repeating exactly what the singer sang with the wrong madhyamam, which is oscillating, which should not be oscillating. But when the violin plays solo, after the alapana, they play it correctly. So that is because they know an instrument. That's why they are playing it correctly. So my entire singing brain, ears, everything became refined a lot after I started studying the way. It's not my case. I think it happens with now Sanjay Subramaniam is a singer, but he's learned violin. Ranjani Gayatri, they perform vocal concert, but they know violin. Like the TV Gopalakrishnan sir, he knows violin and veena and mridangam. Balamuralikrishna played viola, violin, veena, viola, violin, mridangam and ganjira, though he was a singer. So most of the Chembai Vaidyanatha Bhagavatar, he played violin. Maharaja Iyer played flute. Like that, it goes on and on and on. So it's not my special thing. Many people, they have done, many singers have known an instrument. It's definitely a not unavoidable, but definitely a desirable thing to do.
Wonderful. That's so wonderful insight you've given to us. And I think all those who aspire to learn music, they should look at an instrument as well. Like you're suggesting that it gives them so much of leeway into deeper meanings. So you're also known to have, created and crossed that barrier of where you explain meanings. And like now you've done it so naturally, it has just come so naturally. Did you ever think about it, or was it just your passion for music which wanted you, that everybody should enjoy it at the same level? Was it something like that? How did this start?
Yeah, I'll tell you two things. One, if I attend a dance program, I find the dancers explaining the meaning, showing hand gestures and facial gestures of what they are going to do next. And then when that piece comes, it makes sense. One, Padma Subramaniam, for example. And I used to be very fond of Western classical music from the time I got exposed to that. Even now I am. So in Western classical music, when I used to buy LP records first, then cassettes, then CDs, I find I buy a CD of Beethoven's Symphony No. 9, for example. Then the CD will have a booklet of around 10 to 15 pages, which explain what was happening in Beethoven's life at that time and the unique thing he incorporated with this particular symphony. So I didn't know the Western classical music jargon. I'm talking about before the internet was invented. But I used to just read every single CD. I used to read the booklet, and I used to wonder, in Carnatic music, how come we don't have this? It'll be so nice if we had some idea of what was going on. Then the same Amma Maharani who started me on music, her brother gifted me a Malayalam book called Tyagaraja Sudha by a gentleman called K.P.S. Menon. It had the word by word meaning of around 120 Tyagaraja Kritis. Many of them were very, very popular. So when I started reading that, I was stunned by how wrongly most people were singing these songs. We are just cutting the syllables wherever our teacher cut, and he cuts it where his teacher cut. So, and then I was stunned to discover how correctly M.D. Ramanathan was singing. Though these were Telugu compositions and M.D. Ramanathan was a Malayali, people at first they notice the slurred kind of way in which he pronounced, because he was imitating his guru, Tiger Varadacharya, who used to pronounce like this. So, Giripai Nala Konna Ram. So, Giripai Nala Konna Ramani, we don't hear, if we hear Giripai, we don't hear that. So that problem was there, but the cutting of the words was absolutely perfect. It was like you speak Tamil or I speak Malayalam. It's like a native person singing. So then when I discovered the lyrics, I was like, it sounds so good and my enjoyment is enhanced so much because I know the meaning. I feel that pleasure, I should share that with the listeners also. So slowly and very tentatively, I started announcing stuff. And some older listeners used to get very, very angry because as a young boy, I looked very, very young. I mean, when I was around 25, 26, I looked around 16, 17. So they'll get, before you are born itself, I have heard Shamangudi and Ariyakudi and Musidi and GNB and this man and that man. I know all this. You don't need to teach me like that. They would get really irritated when I explain something. So then I changed my tactic and I said, I'm sure, of course, all of you know what this means. But just in case there's one or two people who might wonder what the meaning is, I want to share this with you. But when I explain the meaning, I can see these people, oh, Apriya, I mean, I've been hearing Indra Mohanupalu for 60 years, but now only I realize this is what this says. And you can see it in their faces. And over the years, I kind of continued with my conviction, what I felt was right. And now, even in a very strict kind of atmosphere like the Madras Music Academy, my approach is absolutely the same. Like if I sing in a chamber concert, I explain. It's like I'm sharing. I suppose I have a box of chocolates and it's very nice. I don't want to sit and eat the whole thing myself. I want you also to enjoy the chocolates. With that kind of sharing mentality, in fact, T.V. Gopalakrishnan sir once told me after a concert, I felt very good. And he said, the difference between how I sing and how many others sing is that I'm not presenting something, but I'm sharing something. So that is, I didn't put words in that way, but when he said that, I felt very happy because that's exactly what I am doing. So come, let's all enjoy. Let's all savor the sweetness or the wisdom of this Purandaradasa song or Bhadrachal Ramadasa song or Tyagaraja song or Swathi song. So it's not to show off like, see, whether it's Kannada or Telugu or Tamil or whatever, I sing it like a native speaker and I know the word by word meaning. It's not at all like that. Just it adds to the enjoyment. That's all.
So you're experimenting with this genre, I can understand. And please explain to me, how does Rabindra Sangit and Kannada students, how do they come together?
No, because I sing different kinds of music just for my own pleasure. But sometimes when I'm having a class, somebody will say, I have seen on that this is a much more recent development, like last 15 years. So somebody would say, I've seen you singing this Bagunir Parushmani, which is a Tagore song on YouTube. Can you teach that? So it'll be a group session. And I'll say, it's a Carnatic session. How can I teach a Tagore song? Then many people, no, we won't. Then I just teach him like that. That's all. It's not like announce that, okay, in this forthcoming session, I'm going to teach a Tagore song. It's never the plan. It has just happened like that.
So music has no barriers, whether it's language or whether it is the different genres, from Western, Rabindra Sangeet, to the Carnatic classical. And you've also mentioned the many gharanas in the meantime. So would you like to share with us a little bit about what is the upcoming program? I know that there is something coming up in February, and I would love for our audience to know more about it.
Oh, yeah. Srikuti, Nandu, there are several musicians come, wonderful people come, music enthusiasts. They're working together to organize a series of 3 classes and 1 informal concert by me. I think February 17, 18 would be a weekend and then the next weekend. So 3 teaching sessions and 1 performance is being planned. So probably if you ask Srikuti, you can know much more clearly.
Definitely. I will definitely connect with her and we'll definitely share. And there are many people who are here now from UAE as well. I'm sure they would love to connect with you and come and attend the sessions as well. We will definitely look forward to that. So we have about 2 minutes. Is there something, yes, one question which I wanted to ask you is, have you ever gone to any place or any Saba or any session and you felt a sense of deja vu that you've done this before, you've been here before, or this is your happy space?
I think when I come to Dubai in February, I'll feel that, because I've been there already. I know the venue. I love that venue, actually. I forgot the name. It is nice wooden floor and very, very, very nice atmosphere.
Thank you for that. We look forward to that. Sir, would you have anything to sing just a little bit just before I ask you my final question for today? If you had a magic wand and were able to wave it, what would your wish be for the world?
For the world, I don't know. But right now, if I had a magic wand, I'll wish for another 2.5 hours to chat with you.
Very kind of you, sir.
Now we have only 1 minute, I think, 1 minute, 20 seconds, something like that.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, sir.
I heard your chat with Srikuti. I mean, that's how I know about you. And then I sent her a message saying, oh, the hostess is so professional and warm and caring and efficient. And so I was very impressed with your conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's your generosity.
No, but I didn't think that within such a short time I would get the pleasure of being interviewed by you too.
We do have to thank Srikuti for it, and I have to actually thank Mentza and the founders who are here in the audience. Since we have a few seconds, I'll quickly thank Guru, Raghu, Tripti, Shivkumar Mani, Rajagopal, Pragya, Harisudan, Live Life, Vishal, Anandi, Radhika, Anurag, Anuradha, Nancy, Varsha. Wow, the list goes on. M. Bhavani, Anand, Aishwarya, Suraj, Divya, and my dear friend Srikuti for having helped us put this together. Thank you very much, sir. Wishing you a very happy new year. Lots of music, lots of magic. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for all of you who have come here. It's been my pleasure. Wish you everybody a very happy new year.
Thank you. With your blessings, we will take your leave, sir. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Bye.